Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the qwiqode split screen with video Shopify section. In this video, I'll be showing you how to actually use it. So if you haven't installed it yet, please refer to the separate video included in the package. And you also have access to a PDF with some instructions. So to get started, open up your theme editor and navigate to the page you want to add the section to. Over on the left, you choose Add Section. You can either select it from here, or if it's a long list, you can just search right in there for video. You get QQ split screen video. Once you select it, you have a default view that appears. So on the left here, you have the different blocks. It's a section like content blocks that appear. You have a video, you have section title, you have the text block here, you have buttons, and you also have another option to add an image or a subtitle. Adding a subtitle, for instance, something you could put into here above, if that's something that you want to do, or you can add in an image. But one thing to keep in mind is that you can't show an image and a video at the same time. It's going to have to be either or. So we have turn off the video, which takes precedence, or just keep a video. So let's just start with a video, or sorry, excuse me, with an image, which is fairly simple. If we have the image here, we go into on the right side, select image, and let's just choose this image here. On the options here, you can have the original dimensions of the image, or you can make it square, like so, or you could do banner, which makes it a little bit much thinner. Landscape is basically like the image that you have already, at least this specific one, but let's just keep this at square right now. We can switch the positions to make it left or right, and then on mobile, if we switch up here to mobile view, we can have it either appear at the top of the text above it, or below the text, or just have it hidden on mobile view. So let's go out back to desktop. So that's basically the idea with the image. Let's hide that and show the video. Now on video, there's a few different options. You can either in here enter a YouTube or a Vimeo video, just paste the address right into here. If we would like to do that, we can go to, there we go, to YouTube. If we have a video, just click share. You have this address, just copy, and then paste it right in there, and there's your video. You have an option to put in a poster image, like an image that'll cover this video. So let's just take a default one, let's say like this. But of course, you can use any image or a screenshot of the video itself. We have, once you enter in a poster, you have a default play button that appears. Now you can change that by uploading your own, or uploading an SVG icon that sometimes it's more crisp. To do that, you would go to setting in the admin to settings, files, settings, and then you click on files, and then up here you can upload a file, and then you just copy the link from there and paste it into here. Or you could just use our default one, and then you have an option to make it smaller, to make it larger, etc. We'll keep it at medium right now. We have an option to do autoplay video. There are some limitations with autoplay on browsers, where if they won't autoplay if your video has sound on it, so that it's not intrusive to the user. But you can do that with other. I'll show you that in a minute once we use a different video. We have an option to show the controls For instance, if we click play here, well, yeah, on YouTube, yeah, so you can hide the controls, and it's just a pause and a play kind of thing, or we can just show it like that. If you play, you have the controller right there. Next, we have the dimensions. We can either make it the original format or square. Doing it square basically just resizes the video. If we're using YouTube, then you get the background black so that the entire video fits in. And the same idea with the image, where you could put the video on top, bottom, or hidden on mobile. Now, if we have a short video up to 20 megabytes of size, and we want to have it local, and it's not on YouTube or Vimeo, we can remove that. Go to Settings, Files again. Up here, you can upload a video. Make sure it only allows up to 20 megabytes of an MP4. You can compress it or find a different solution. But let's just take this lipstick one. I copy the link, go back over here, and I paste it into MP4 video path. Like that. We don't yet see it because we have a poster, but let's change the poster as well to this image that we have here. And let's just make this original for now. So once we play, we have a native video running off of from Shopify itself. Same idea with autoplay, with show controls. We can hide the controls, and then there won't be anything like that. This is a good idea. For instance, if you just want to have a video playing kind of in the background, then I would choose autoplay video, remove the poster, and then the video just plays automatically. Just like that, if you have something without sound and you just want to give it some sort of atmosphere and work and run just side by side with no video, with no sound, excuse me. You can also choose to loop it so that when it gets to the end, it'll just start over again. So that's setting up the video. Next, we have options for section title. Section title right over there. You can update this here. Applying the lipstick, for instance. You can select an HTML element, which is good for SEO mainly. Usually an H2 for different sections is good. An H1 is something that you would use only once on the page, and it's usually the page title. This could also be a good thing, imports the styling that you're using for other header elements on the site so that you maintain consistency of styling. But in case you want to have it, different with the different colors or different fonts or so on, you can have all these options here. You could choose a custom font. You go into here and select the fonts from the list. We'll keep this separate. We could change the color, title, font size, line height, and letter spacing, different typography settings. Kept at 0, they will use the default settings from your theme. Otherwise, you could just update that, and you can change those settings here, like so. And we have those 3 same items for settings for mobile version. Moving on down, we have margins. So if you want to have more space above or below, usually above, it would only be if you added in the subtitle. So for instance, if we have a subtitle in there, and we can get rid of that and make it a little bit closer. Sometimes you have to go into the other one below and then move that, and then they become a little bit closer. Or we can make it much farther away if we want, and so on. Same with title up and down. And the same settings for mobile version. Moving on, text block, it's the same idea. We have the area to put the text. We can change the font, the color, the font size, line height, and letter spacing, and also on mobile version. Buttons, we have an option to put in 2 different buttons. So it's all here on the right side. Here you can put in, if you don't want a button, you can just hide it. I'll show you on the next button. Here we can just do a learn more, for instance, or let's make it capital. Like that. We can change the font. We can change the width of the button to make it bigger or smaller. Padding, which is the space within the button, horizontally or vertically, like that. Border width, if we want to have a border without a background, for instance, we can do that. I'll show you in a minute. Border radius, you can make it round or fit the styling of your site. And same thing with margins, margin top, margin bottom, and so on to give more spacing around. Font size on mobile, letter spacing. You can edit all of those things as much as you like. It's very important for us to give you as much freedom as possible. Of course, 0 will just use the default. And then we have colors. We could choose background color of blue. You can change the color text. And then for the border, say we want to have a border without a background. So we can just remove the color like that. Let's change the button color. And then a border of this dark, and then scrolling back up here, we can give a border width of right now it's 2 pixels or just 1 pixel, just like that. And then we have hover colors here. So when you hover with a mouse, you can have this color be different. Let's just say blue. So we can do that. And then border color as well, giving you that option. Then we move on and we have the second button, and it's all the same settings, but if you don't want the button, you just go to the button label and remove the label, and the button is gone. Of course, here I didn't mention, you can add in a link to wherever you want it to go. After we added in those basic features, we go back into the main settings here, and we have a few more things for the entire section itself. We can select the width of the item. First, I'll give a background color just so we can see a little bit more the section itself. This is regular, so it should line up with your content width of other sections, or you can make it full width where it'll extend to the full width of the browser, or you can make it a little bit smaller, 75%, but then you might have some issues with sizing because you have different font or text length, font size, and things like that. If we get rid of the button, then this should disappear. But let's just keep it at regular right now. Margin top and margin bottom is the distance above and below the section. You're probably going to have more sections above and below, so you'll be able to give more space if you'd like. Padding gives more space, the top and the bottom, within the section itself, if you'd like that. And then you can give some horizontal spacing as well. So you can get a nice little border around there if you'd like. And then we have those same settings for the mobile version. Moving on down, we have different settings where we can place the text area. You can put it at the top of the section, you can put it at the bottom, or you can center it. And then text alignment, center, right alignment. And for these, we also have padding top, padding bottom, and horizontal. So you can adjust the centering and more spacing around those sections. Same idea for mobile version, same settings over here. And we also have 1 or 2 settings for button styling. In case we have two separate buttons, we can give more space between the two, or we can have them side by side or stacked one above the other. So those are all the settings. Thank you again, and we hope that this section helps you achieve your website goals.